We're back on old Route 66. And today I thought we'd start things off with a bang, literally. Look at this building by the side of old Route 66. Doesn't look like much from the ground level, but if you take a look at it from above, check that shape out. Remind you of anything? Maybe if I told you this was a former Illinois State Police headquarters. Now look at that shape again. What does that look like to you? Bang, bang, bang. That's right, the former Illinois State Police District 6 headquarters was built in the shape of a Derringer pistol. I guess even the police have a sense of humor. That gun is pointed right down the highway too, towards oncoming visitors, so you better watch out. You better not speed around here. Police headquarters shaped like a gun. I love it. There should be more buildings shaped like things. What I like about this one though is it's kind of sneaky. You can only really see that from above. From down here it looks like a weird dental clinic. Maybe a really small radio station. I don't know. Something boring. You sneaky little popo making your building in the shape of a gun. Oh, I'm sorry. He's on duty. You can see here Route 66 was a divided highway. One side is abandoned now, one side still in use, heading into Pontiac, Illinois. Wow, Pontiac, Illinois is nice, and look at that courthouse. That is a pretty epic edifice. Look at that clock tower up there. Hopefully it doesn't get struck by lightning. We don't have many buildings like that in Southern California. This impresses me. Oh, look at this. It's our old friend Abraham Lincoln. Yes, he came to Pontiac to argue cases in front of the court here. You can see the American flag fluttering in the breeze. Very windy today. It must be Wednesday. Couldn't have said it better myself, Abe. Mind if I borrow your hat? Please don't touch that. Okay, but have you ever thought about switching styles? There we go. That's a pretty good look for me. Doesn't fit. I think it looks better on me anyway. Wow, look at this town. It looks like a movie set. It's so perfect. Unlike many similar small towns, Pontiac still has a ton of small businesses here that are open. And check this out. Every so often, there's these little decorated art cars. They're really a little too small to ride in, but they sure are nice looking. This one's all decorated with Route 66 stuff. Remember this? Remember that? Looking familiar to you? How cool is that? And this is not the only one. There's dozens of them scattered all around the city. The Society of Guilders. This one's called the Teen Haunts car. Look, there's the old swimming pool, and check this out. Wow. Ooh, and look at this one here. That's a sporty number. I'd say it was a cheetah, but then I'd be lying. Oh, look at this fine little musical number. You think we could get away with calling this a bluesmobile? This car rocks, but it doesn't roll. Man, these things are everywhere. They even have little trucks out here. That's awesome. These things are pretty rad, but these aren't the only rad thing in Pontiac. Route 66 used to come right through this old downtown, and that's why we have businesses like Route 66 Kites. And Dick Van Dyke would love this place. There's also about a zillion murals all throughout the town, many of which are replicating the old advertising they used to paint on the side of buildings. Some of them pay homage to actual businesses that used to be in town like this. Others, like this one, are Route 66 themed and pay tribute to a lost Route 66 icon, none other than Bob Waldmeyer. Pontiac was one of the many places that Bob called home over the years, and this was supposed to be his last art commission. Because of his final illness, he couldn't paint it himself, but he did design it. That is pretty crazy. But what's even crazier is this. This is the old Gallup, New Mexico school bus that Bob Waldmeyer converted into his road yacht. This was Bob's home. It's got a rainwater collection system. It ran off of alternative fuels. There's solar panels on board. What a crazy way to live for the guy who was the son of a man who was a military man, invented the corn dog. Pretty wild that he turned into a vegetarian hippie traveling around with a vagabond artist lifestyle. Yet at the same time, like his dad, Bob loved Route 66. And he made a living traveling up and down it, drawing all those scenes and postcards and posters. And at the end of his life, he donated his road yacht to the Pontiac Route 66 Museum, and you can still go on board and see all of Bob's stuff in there. It's pretty crazy to see all the pieces of someone's life still right here, kind of where he left them. Pretty wild way to live. He even had a compost toilet on there. Ugh. Wow, check out this giant mural and this giant old motel sign. This looks like it's gonna be a pretty cool Route 66 museum. Ooh, wow. Look at this, it's Bob Waldmeyer's other favorite ride. His V VW bus. Wow, it's rare to find someone who likes knickknacks even more than I do. I'm pretty sure Bob and I would have been friends. Bob, of course, was the inspiration for the character of Fillmore in Cars, and this car was his preferred ride, and this is the reason he wasn't drawn as a giant school bus. Look at that hippie mobile. Oh, there's one of his famous Route 66 maps right on his car. I'm telling you, man, every third blink is slower. Wow, it's like seeing the original Fillmore. That just goes to show you how much that original Cars movie did a great job of putting Route 66 on film. Look at this old Steak and Shake display. These seats are from the original one in Normal, Illinois. I passed through there yesterday. I wanted to stop and look for weird things there, but it was just too normal. Ah, some more information on the pig hip. Lots of local history here. Old gas pumps. I love when there's old pictures of all the guys paving the original roads. Highways are something I take for granted, but it took a lot of men to design and construct them. Why should their work be forgotten, huh? Pretty darn impressive collection. Ooh, there's a good reminder. Look at that. Some original Burma shaved signs up in the ceiling. Said Farmer Brown, who's bald on top. Wish I could rotate the crop. Burma shave. Oh, look at this. A specimen. A jackalope. Legend says that those are actually real and live along Route 66. I haven't seen one yet, but there's always the way back. Oh, look at all that old cozy dog stuff. Oh, there's Bob Waldmeyer again right there. Must have been a nice guy because everybody up and down the route that remembers him loved that guy. Look at these, part of old Hail Mary signs spread across the highway. Look at this old sign for directions. Whew, I'm glad I have the GPS. Never need a map again. Hey, check this out. They show little movies in this hallway, and there's an elevator to the War Museum. Ooh, and a gift shop. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in this building. Look at this. There's even more exhibits like this one, the Bob Waldmeyer Experience. There's his shirt and there's a lot of his artwork in here. Oh, I didn't know he made paintings like that. That's amazing. Wow. A man of many talents. Here's a display Bob made and a pamphlet about all the rattlesnakes that get killed. Poor rattlesnakes are misunderstood. Check this out here. They have the original correspondence from Pixar. Pixar wanted to call Fillmore Waldmeyer. Turns out Bob was down, but he wanted a percentage of merchandising for any Fillmore stuff to give to the rainforest. I guess that wasn't agreeable to Disney. But he was still stoked on having a character even if they didn't agree to use his name. I never knew that. Fillmore's original name was Waldmeyer. It's pretty cool. Over the years I've purchased many of these postcards and I never knew about the artist. Oh, there's another gallery over here with information on the wall dogs. That was what the people called themselves who traveled from town to town painting those old giant advertising murals on the sides of buildings, on old signs. And that's what the modern group of artists call themselves, who are doing that today all over Pontiac. That's pretty darn cool, man. Recreating the past. Kind of boring visiting an old-timey town with all the old stuff stripped away from it. It gets a lot more exciting when this stuff comes back. Oh, I almost died when I walked by the door and saw that. I thought those were real people. Or real ghosts or stuff. I don't know what I thought. Hi, little girl.
I want your soul.
But I need my soul. This building is so confusing. Oh, what happened here?
Please, Mom. Please, can we come in? No! You're bad children. We're sorry, Bob. Please. You wait till your father.
Oh, check it out, there's more stuff. Route 66 Hall of Fame is upstairs. I like that sign, that's a good sign. Ooh, I like this place already. But this reminds me I need to do laundry. Wow, look at that. I'm sort of confused. I'm not 100% sure whether I'm in the World War II museum or in a Route 66 section of the museum. Maybe it's a hybrid. This is a cool display. 1940s. What children did. Ooh, they used microscopes and made models, tinker toys, electricity sets, learned about construction, practiced their aim, and played outside games. You mean you had to use your hands? It's like a baby's toy. Pretty sure if we made our kids do all that stuff today, they'd be a lot smarter, or at least a little more well-rounded. Look at this. The House of the 40s. It's like a Carousel of Progress exhibit you can walk through. Ooh, look at that luxurious bed. Old-timey music playing in here. on the radio. Look at that little TV. This feels very comfortable. I wish I could stay in a bed and breakfast like this. Ooh, here's radio in the 60s. That's by a Herb Alpert record.
This is Justin Scard on K-Scard 201, bringing you the finest hits in the USA, J radio style.
When I was a kid, I had a tape recorder, and I made my brother and my friends pretend that we were on the radio, and we'd fake call into each other. It was called J Radio. This building confuses me so much. It's laid out so weird. Oh, okay, here's the War Museum. Whoa. Well, hello there. Excuse me, gentlemen. Wow. Holy moly. I am so scared that there's a real live human in here somewhere that's just going to move all of a sudden. This is one extensive collection of uniforms. I've never seen so many in one place. And look, there's more and more and more. And oh, so many more. That is incredible. This is amazing, and each one of them is real, from a real soldier with real stories. This is a really cool way to honor America's heroes. I love this. This is so creative and such a fit tribute. That's cool. So there's the founder of the museum. This was his idea. And there's his son's Vietnam uniform. Generations of heroes. I actually just met and had a great conversation with the man that wore that uniform. And next to his is his friends who didn't make it home from Vietnam. It may be small, but this is one of the best war museums I've ever been to because of the stories. They're keeping it in context. You learn about the men who won or lost these battles, who liberated Europe, brought home war trophies, kissed their wives and kids goodbye, and went to war. And don't worry, they didn't forget the women of the war effort either. That is awesome. Look at this message from someone from Italy. That is awesome. Pretty intense. I can get pretty emotional if I stay in a place like that too long. Okay, time to go. Oh, but wait, before I do, I forgot. This building used to be the old city hall, I think. And look at this. They even have Route 66 photo exhibits in the old jail cell. The fact that we need this sign is a little telling. Okay, time to get back out there. Wow, well, Pontiac turned out to be one amazing place full of murals and history and loads of art. But even more than that, stories. Some places I visit, the stories are hard to find. You kind of have to dig deep. But Pontiac has done a great job of letting their old stories sort of float to the top, right where we can see them. I'm really glad that I came here today, but of course now I've really got to get going towards Chicago. I'm not gonna spend very much time there. There's not that much left of Route 66 in Chi-Town itself, and plus I'd rather save a lot of Chicago stuff for a separate trip. So that means I'm gonna be coming back this way really soon, like in a couple of days. I believe as of today or tomorrow, I've been on the road for a solid month. That's a little longer than I was expecting to be on this trip already, so it's time to start thinking about heading back. Of course, it's not over yet. Look at these Burma Shave signs. Hardly a driver is now alive who passed on hills at 75. Burma Shave. I love that. Whatever farmer put those up in his field, I salute you. That's awesome. They go both ways too. Just a short way down the very windy highway today is Odell, Illinois, and look at that. Look at that, a Standard Oil filling station. I've never seen one of those. That is so unbelievably cool. It's like, I don't know, it's like going back in time. They're playing old music out here. The station looks beautiful. Wow. Amazing. You'd think I'd get sick of seeing restored old gas stations, but no, I don't. Look at that sign right there. That's a good sign. I'd like to have one of those in my house. I don't think I can fill up on gas here, but I can go inside. It's open. Wow. Pretty simple back then, huh? How about that? There's the old clean washroom. No, not too much privacy with that door. Oh, and here's the service part of the old station. Wow, look at all the old original tools, the old jacks. I love that the original old-timey tin roof is still in here and doesn't look all pristine. It's like a perfect mix of beautifully restored on the outside and still kind of gritty and grimy on the inside. Oh, I'm so thirsty. I don't want to look at this. Look at all these old products, the old oil cans. You ever seen the Wolf's Head logo? Kind of scary. Ooh, liquid wrench. That is amazing. Look at this old window wiper blade dispenser. Just lift this up, grab the right wiper blades, good to go. Can I just say right now that every one of these little places usually has an older lady or an older fella in there to greet people. They're always super kind, super nice, tell you old stories, show you all the old stuff, and they're always surprised how young I am to be interested in Route 66. That should tell you something. All these stories and all these amazing places are in danger of being forgotten, in danger of decaying once more, and the entire route disappearing into memory. It's really important to preserve this stuff and to tell our kids about places like these and teach them about the past, give them some context for the future. And I think the best way to do that, really, if you can, is to take your kids out on Route 66, just a segment of it, maybe just one state even if you can. I'm going slow to film. It doesn't take 30 days to see all of Route 66. You can take just a few days, maybe even take a long weekend. And one of the best things about doing it now is there's still plenty of people left who remember when this was an active route. History is really alive out here. Anyway, just my 2 cents.
Yep, come take your children back to the time before we were sagging our pants and running around hippity-hoppity. My day, we used to wear onions on our belt. It was the style at the time.
Oh, I almost missed this old 1950s little trailer. Whoa. Awesome. Oh, it's so cozy in here. Getting cozy at the cone, is we? What? No. I love Route 66. Look at this. I can still see the Standard Oil service station, but on the other side of the village is an old mobile station. Wow, there's a beautiful old Chevy right here. Ooh, something behind it too. Oh, somebody's a Chevy guy out here. Look at these cars. Wow. I would love to have a car that looked like that. They're more like works of art back then. The streamlined grills and the fenders. I love seeing old gas pumps now. I used to watch American Pickers and be like, why would people want a rusty old gas pump? That just seems so weird to me. I don't know when it happened, but for some reason now I totally get it. It's like, yeah, cool. Ooh, there's an old Chevelle wagon for sale inside the garage if anyone's interested. That's so cool. That's just somebody's man cave in there. I don't know whose place this is, but that is one heck of a man cave. All they're missing in there is a pool table. That's awesome. Wow, Odell, Illinois. Wonderful. Another short stretch of highway and we come to the village of Dwight, home of Bears, Beats, Battlestar Galactica. Dwight is small, but it does have the old Route 66 family restaurant. And incredibly, another old restored gas station. This time, it's Texaco. Wow, it really looks like you could get gas here. Look at the old air hose and look at these old gas pumps. Look at the Fire Chief gasoline, Sky Chief gasoline. Makes you wonder if there was any difference or if there was just different marketing ploys. Speaking of marketing, you don't see many of these anymore. I've never heard of Viceroy cigarettes before, but this lady must have enjoyed them, you know, until the cancer. How cool is that? I love seeing the old oil pumps. I never noticed oil pumps in my entire life until I started this trip. Looks like the old fire truck is in for some repairs today. It almost looks like a Mr. Toad car from Disneyland. I love this. Some of the last gas pumps used on Route 66. And even better, Fun Pick! That's great. Look at that. Still plenty of stuff in stock in here.
Some of the candies you can't get anymore, but I remember them when I was little.
Oh, what a gas. Huh, who knows? Maybe we'll see some more old gas stations today. They ought to rename this strip Gasoline Alley. All right, now we're rolling into Gardner, Illinois. Route 66 comes in and zigzags right into downtown. This guy right here told me this is the biggest town in Illinois, but I'm pretty sure he's lying. He also wants me to drink his spit. Ew, I'm not doing that.
Or am I?
Gardner, Illinois, a place where small children can play outside and be attacked by vicious rabid dogs because there are no grown-ups supervising them. Or wait, maybe that's their dog. Oh, maybe the dog is the babysitter. Like Nana. Yes, sir, not a large town at all, but still kind of a cute one. What? I could say cute. I'm man enough to say cute. Oh, look at this over here. Gardner is well known for their two-celled 1906 jail. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Hey, you quiet down in there.
Why don't you make me Sheriff Potty Pants? Ooh, what a fun one. What a fun way to spend your life in a tiny little cell like this. I'm gonna start stealing stuff.
What's that? Was that a confession?
Just signing the guest book here. Justin Scard, Anaheim, California. I spent 7 horrifying days and nights
in this horrible place. They beat me with sticks, taunted me about my appearance, and lowered my self-esteem.
Also, the Wi-Fi was awful and there was no free continental breakfast.
2 stars!
Would stay again.
Oh, that's the most fun I've had in jail all week. Ooh, what's this?
Push for message.
Welcome to Gardner.
Oh, there's little speakers that talk to you. I've seen these at several other sites, but there was always a human talking to me, not a robot.
And vagrants, especially during the 1930s Depression era.
What?
That
That speaker says that this jail was never used for outlaws, but mostly for hobos and vagrants. Wait, aren't I kind of like a hobo and a vagrant in these parts?
I better get out of here.
Look at this, right next to the Pokey is this old streetcar diner. Dang, that makes me hungry. And it reminds me that I haven't eaten all day, which is just what you want to do when you're doing stuff and it's hot and you're sweating. I love restaurants made out of streetcars and trains and cabooses. We had a really cool one in Anaheim, right by Disneyland, but it's been closed forever. Somebody out there needs to buy that place and make it fun again. Oh my gosh, that speaker is still talking. Whoa. Yes, sir, Gardner's very well known for his little jail. Much less well known as this little Coca-Cola themed house. That is awesome. I've never seen a Coke themed house before.
How cool was that?
Next up, Braidwood, Illinois. Home of the Braidwood Zoo. What in the world is that? A giraffe made of, I don't know, insulating foam? This is a very unusual zoo. I'm a big fan of zoos, but this one seems awfully small and cramped. Oh, they're not feeding this one enough. He looks all skin and bones. Ooh, they got one handsome giant mouse rat thing up there though. Weird. A sign back there said that Braidwood was once also the macaroni capital of the world. Not sure what that means, but okay. Braidwood is also home to the famous Polka Dot Drive-In,
Where none other than the king himself still performs on a daily basis. Wow, he's tall in person.
Dang, he's got a nice guitar.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow, a 9-foot concrete Elvis. Sweet.
Get your kicks on Route 66. Oh yeah, thank you, Mama.
Boy, it's times like these I wish my body could digest gluten, because I'd love to eat here, especially since it's the home of the chili cheese fries. I miss chili cheese fries. Oh, look at these cars advertising something going out of business. That's the most depressing parade I've ever seen. Well, even with McDonald's across the street, the Polka Dot's not going out of business. It's still going strong. And look at this, celebrity clientele. Ooh, the king got a lot shorter in the last 5 minutes.
That or I'm growing.
Marilyn, cover yourself up, darling.
You gotta think layers, like our friend Jimmy Dean here. I love your sausages.
Dang, that's a really funny joke. Boop boop be doop. Hubba, hubba, hubba. Sorry, Betty, I'm taken. It's no use, don't try to argue with me. I am immune to your charms. Wow, the inside of this place is even better than the outside. Check out the bathrooms. The inside of the men's restroom was very cool. I didn't go in the ladies' room, sorry. Look at these crazy guys outside. Pretty sure this isn't the last we'll see of the Blues Brothers. All right, I'm getting tired. It's time for one last push. Okay, last but not least, we've come down 66 to Wilmington, Illinois. Doesn't look like much, does it? But then all of a sudden, it hits you. This is a big one, gang. Literally. In 1965, owner John Korelk thought that his launching pad restaurant could use a new mascot. So, like so many others along Route 66, he called the International Fiberglass Company and placed an order for a giant Muffler Man style astronaut. I love how the same company made those lumberjacks first, then the Muffler Man, the cowboy, the Native American chief, and astronauts, all from the same mold. Then of course the giant Muffler Man with Spaceman helmet accessory needed a new name, so they had a contest, and local 5th grader Kathy Thomas came up with the Gemini Giant. It was the 60s, so it's right during the Gemini space program. Look at this guy. Oh, look up there. He's got a football stuck inside his helmet. Dang, someone nailed it.
Oh, I love Muffler Man. Every time I see one, it's like seeing an old friend.
This is so surreal because the Gemini Giant is world famous for being sort of the first major roadside attraction that you see on Route 66 after leaving Chicago. He's in every Route 66 book, many Route 66 postcards, literature, legends, and lore. And I'm finally looking upon him with my own eyes. This makes me so happy and so sad because it means that we're almost to the big city. We're almost finished. From here on out, it's pretty much suburbs, city streets, interstate, and then
the end of the trail.
But forget about all that for right now. Right now, would you look at the size of that spaceman?
That's one gargantuan astronaut. It's not his original rocket though. Apparently the rocket has been stolen many times.
People just love a fella with a giant rocket.
Obviously some people out there have some rocket envy. The Gemini Giant is a Route 66 legend, but sadly the launching pad, which is his home, is closed for the moment at least, and up for sale. Actually, I believe it's been up for sale for quite a number of years. But I have heard that the current owners refuse to sell the Gemini Giant without someone buying the restaurant as well. So hopefully that means that Wilmington, Illinois won't lose their giant attraction. I cannot believe this, you guys. It's like seeing Cadillac Ranch or the Blue Whale in Catoosa, Oklahoma. This is a Route 66 must-do legend. The Gemini Giant. I've waited my whole life to look upon that charming astronaut face, and now we've done it. We're almost to Chicago, almost finished. That is wild to think about. Hey, by the way, do me a favor, one of you, would you please buy the launching pad, maybe add some gluten-free burgers to this place? I'm getting hungry. The Gemini Giant. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for Route 66. Looking at this makes me feel the way other people feel when they look at the Venus de Milo or the winged victory of Samothrace. I'm honestly feeling a little misty-eyed, I'm not gonna lie to you. We've made it to the Chicago bedroom communities. We've done it. We've made it to the suburbs. We've done our duty.
So right now, I'm gonna hotel and sleep well.
If I can find something to eat first. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the hats and t-shirts for sale. The link's down below. And I'll see all of you further along in time and space. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. That's scary, I thought I was locked in there. Woo-hoo.